Heyo! Welcome into Picsart 101, your crash course for Picsart Web. Today's episode is going to be all about type, more specifically the text tool. So let's jump right into it. All right, so I want to go over here. We're just doing a custom size. This is easy. Let's do 1,000 pixels by 1,000 pixels. Create design. Launches this into our editor. We'll just throw out an example background color in here. Maybe like a dark foresty green, perhaps. Let's go down there. That looks nice. All right. So what we want to do next is click our text button here. There's a couple differences right here. Like you can click on this where it's add a heading or add a subhead or add body text. That's really just to give you a baseline for size. A heading obviously is something you'd use more as like a larger headline type situation. A subhead would be something that would be less in the hierarchy, probably lower down, a little bit smaller. And then body text obviously is a thinner weight, easier to read, and that's something you use for small type, probably with big paragraphs. But in this case, we'll just do a heading. We'll click there. This gives you the type. We'll maybe size it up a little bit. You just double click to highlight the entire word, and then we'll just add example. In this case, it'll be my name. We'll quickly just change the color so you can see that. I'll go to like a nice off-white, maybe a little bit of an ivory. Looks good. Okay, so now what you want to do, come up to the adjust bar up here, the toolbar, click font. This is where we get into our fonts. We'll quickly just center this in the artboard for you. This is when we get into fonts. A lot of different fonts to choose from here. Just a quick rundown on fonts. There's basically sans serifs, which are what you're seeing now. A little bit more of a modern look and feel. If you want something that's traditionally called a serif, it's something more like this. It's where the typefaces have these little serifs, or the types have serifs on the end of each of these. There's also scripts, which are cool, kind of can be a hip new font. So let's see if we want to find a script. It's just, and if you want to search a font, there's obviously a ton of different font packs that you can scroll through here. But if you're looking for something specific, you can just type in script. And we can just kind of scroll through. There are just a ton of scripts here. Let's see, some of these ones, you can click something like that. That's a nice script. This is fun. This is a funky one. All right, let's go with this script. So we can size up here. You also have the ability to change letter spacing here. So spacing the letters out, bringing it back in. In this case with the script, you want it to feel connected. So you'd have the letter spacing at 0, but you can space these out if you want more of like a tracked out kind of look and feel. If you have multiple lines too, the line height can basically change. I'll do an example here. If you just go my last name, you can basically then highlight, and line height will just separate. See how much space you have in between the lines. In this case, we don't need my last name. So we'll just go with my first name. So we like a typeface here, and if we want to design something out, this could be fun. A fun little trick I do, gives you kind of a retro vibe. It gives the type a little bit of depth as you duplicate to create this kind of shadow effect. So you go click your typeface in your layer bar, go up to duplicate, and that'll put something, it actually pops it in front of the layer, but what we want to do is bring that behind, and it's kind of offset. So quick tip here is just to make sure that you want it to be a different color, so obviously because you can't read this right now, so we'll just click to an orange here. So then you have this nice little layered shadow effect. It's cool. It kind of gives the type some depth. But if you want to even keep it going more, you just go ahead and select on that layer below, click duplicate, and that'll even offset it more. As you see here, it's on the top. Bring it back down to the last layer, and then this is where you can start to have some fun. You can change the colors here. It's really starting to make the type pop out more. Why don't we just do one more for fun? Click duplicate. See, it's on the top layer. Bring it down, and let's change it to a nice purple. So you have this cool kind of rainbow layered text effect. If you want to size that up, you can just highlight all of the layers, make the whole thing bigger here. Now, if this was something, maybe this is a social post or something like that, we'd be done right here. You could export But in this case too, if maybe you're more of a beginner and you don't really have as much knowledge about all of the different typefaces and just different types of fonts you can use on here, there's what's called these pre-made text styles over here on the left. You know, this is kind of similar to something that we created. I just clicked this for an example. It's cool. It's a really cool design. If you're looking for a specific feel and don't really know what type to use, you can just go to these text styles, and they're fully editable too. So I can just type my name, Zachary. We'll just go Zach. And then boom, see it automatically updates it in the style that you want, but with fully customizable type. So in this case, yeah, we'd be done here. If you wanted to size this up, you could go ahead and export here if you wanted. We'll just do name tag and click download, and you're done. All right, that is it for today's Type Talk. Have fun exploring those different typefaces, and don't forget to keep those best practices in mind. See ya.